and anything. The class of 2012 has fulfilled the motto, "You only live once." Fellow graduates, if we live right the first time, once is all we'll need. No two graduates have had the same high school experience. Tonight may be heart-wrenching for some, while others are in their absolute glory. No matter what the differences in emotions may be, take this into consideration. Smile and remember the good times. Ponder and embrace the mysteries that lie ahead. Cry and release those bitter moments. And just sitting, touch the untouchable instants, hours, and days that will no longer be part of our consciousness. Who we are today may not be who we are tomorrow. We are all going to make decisions that will have long-lasting effects. At this point, we cannot lose sight of what we're capable of just because we may think time is running out. Remember what makes us happy. Remember the reasons why we woke up today. Remember to take the ordinary and make it extraordinary. Class of 2012, our time is now. It's tonight, and it's tomorrow. High school may be over, but really, it's only the beginning. So look around at these familiar faces, capture everything before it slips away, and recognize this departure as the catalyst towards the rest of our lives. Congratulations, class of 2012. At this time, our 2012 salutatorians, Jennifer Chance Johnson and Ariel Shuck, will now address the graduates.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Oh wait, wrong century. Let me start this over. Good evening, family, friends, teachers, administrators, and of course, our classmates, the graduates of 2012. We welcome you to this momentous occasion that we have all been waiting 12 long years to take place. However, parents, we know you are actually excited because you're so close to getting us freeloaders out of the house. For at least a few years, anyway.
We know we're a lot to handle, especially through those awkward teenage years, but we thank you for not killing us thus far. We seriously couldn't have done it without you. Hey, Ariel, maybe they do know what they're talking about after all.
Wow, thinking back to freshman year, I never thought I'd be standing up here with you, Jen. I have to say, you're a great competitor, but had always just been one step ahead.
Ariel, you were always right there with me. I'm not really surprised you're standing up here tonight. You really deserve it, and I feel honored to be sharing the stage with you.
Just 3 days ago, my brother rudely woke me up to inform me that Mr. Lundy was on the phone. Come on, Mr. Lundy. It's summer, and you should know that 10:30 in the morning is still considered early for us. But don't worry, I forgive you, because being told I was tied for salutatorian was probably the only news that would make up for such an early wake-up call.
The same thing happened here. My mom woke me up saying the phone was for me. Mrs. Wilson was on the other end congratulating me for the tie. And my first thought was, is that even possible?
Indeed it is possible, Jen. And it only makes sense being that we've been in practically all the same classes since freshman year. We've even participated in a lot of the same activities.
You're right, Ariel. We've done it all. From captains of the field hockey team, to officers of the National Honor Society, to being involved in softball, peer mentoring, and balancing jobs on top of it all. For being neck and neck for so long, it's ironic we made it up here together. Maybe that was our plan all along.
But hey, I guess we do have to give our outstanding teachers some credit for helping us make it this far. Just like our parents, we couldn't have done it without them. So Mrs. Winiger, thank you for putting up with me for 3 periods a day. I don't even think my parents could stand me for that long.
Thank you, Mr. Singh, for being a great class advisor and proving that it is possible to have a winning hallway even if you're not the commercial arts teacher. Right, Mr. Holt?
Thank you, Waylon, for not only being a great teacher, but an amazing coach as well. I could just put you in my pocket.
Thank you, Miss Lambert. We would like to take the time to finally apologize for always talking during those morning announcements. For some reason, our personal announcements just seem more important.
Mr. Russell, thank you. But it is unfortunate to know that in college we will still have homework on Mondays, even after another victory from none other than your New York Giants.
Thanks, Mrs. Packard. If there's nothing else I took out of chemistry, it was perfecting the art of tie-dyeing and that you do a great Michael Jackson impersonation.
And of course, thank you, Mrs. Lapp, for making me a giant stress ball all year and for reminding us that AP Bio is an elective class. But don't let her fool you. She's a real softie once you dissect her.
Mrs. O'Farah, thank you. You really pushed us through those agonizing college essays and always saved our butts with giving extensions on our journals. It took whining and pleading and begging and crying to finally make you change your mind.
And to Mr. Hardee's, we do not thank you for being the devil's advocate for a male's point of view in our almost completely female English class.
Merci beaucoup, Madam Carpenter, for convincing me that snails are actually delicious. Only smothered in garlic and butter, of course.
Thank you, Miss Liz, for reminding us to smile and smile and smile.
Mr. Hinson, thank you. We know you may try to put on that big tough guy act, but we know you're a big teddy bear at heart.
Thank you to Ponte for waking us up every morning on senior trips. I'm sure we could all agree that we wouldn't want to hear anyone else's booming voice at 6:30 in the morning.
And last but not least, much thanks to our dear principal, Mr. Jenkins. We will surely miss your distinguishable voice on the loudspeaker.
Even though we sound so eager to leave this town and start the next chapter in our lives, there are definitely going to be a lot of things we're going to miss about BCHS. One being that infamous Jeopardy music in between classes. Honestly, I'll probably never watch that show again.
We'll never be able to forget being stuck in time when our clock stopped ticking, but it did give us an excuse to pull out our cell phones in class and check the time, or maybe not.
I must admit, though, I'm glad to be getting out of here before we're stuck wearing those uniforms. I mean, I'm sure they're great and all, they're just not my style.
I think everyone can agree that high school is a memorable experience. Whether you spend it studying or slacking, playing on the field or bumming on the couch, joining a club or doing your own thing, Burlington City gave us every opportunity to really grow into individuals. The choices we made here will shape who we will become in the future.
As the year came to an end and the yearbooks were passed around, we began writing our farewells to our friends in hopes they will stay in touch and see them from time to time. So Jen, call me maybe? So you don't become somebody I used to know?
Of course, Ariel, I won't let that happen. Well, I have to say we've come a long way when we walked through the doors in 2008. We are now young adults ready to step into the real world. We have to realize that we aren't little kids anymore. We can say that high school helps us build a foundation which we will use to plan our future.
So before we leave the stand and our valedictorian prom jock car takes her rightful place on stage, we'd like to leave our fellow graduates with one last piece of advice.
Remember, you only live once. YOLO!
administrators, teachers, city council, and board members, friends, and students. This is it. We're done, class of 2012. After 4 long years, it's what all of us sitting here today have waited for: graduation. With the support of the guidance office, the school faculty, and most of all, our school principal, who always did everything in his power to make our school years memorable, we are now here sitting at the riverfront. But now, it is our time to shine, because all those extra hours that were invested into our high school years are finally paying off. And because time stops for no one, we just have to seize this moment and make it ours. Over the 4 years that this class has been together in high school, many things have happened. Some good, some bad, others funny. It feels as though it was just yesterday when this entire stage full of students were divided by the 2 cities that we come from. The first assembly of our freshman year was also divided. Do you remember that? Kids from city sat on one side, and kids from Edgewater Park would sit on the other. It's a funny memory to look back on now, because being so divided then, we never thought that this was going to be our class now. United and together. Not seniors from EP or city, just seniors. No barriers, no division. This class has always come together, especially during Spirit Week, where we won not once, but twice. First, as sophomores, and then, of course, as seniors. I am proud to be graduating from Burlington City High School, because this is where everybody knows everyone, and with that knowledge came love, support, and of course, some fun. We are here today because of the support of our community. I know for a fact that whenever I was down and needed some supportive words, everyone was there to help. My friends would lecture me that I would be just fine. My teachers from every single department, English, math, science, history, home economics, would all tell me that I could do anything I set my mind to. My parents, my mom and dad, would always tell me that I should always believe in myself and that nothing is impossible. My uncle, who lives halfway around the world, mind you, would sit for hours on end in India at the break of dawn, just listening to my problems and giving me that extra boost that I needed. Then, my faith, my master, my God, always gave me the words of wisdom that I will try to live by for the rest of my life. He always said, do your job, study to the fullest extent possible, and leave the rest up to me. I will take care of the rest. You just do your job, and that is what I will try to do. Over the years, we, the class of 2012, grew up together and got to know each other as more than just classmates, but as friends, best friends, even family. We have been through so much together. When it was time to help each other out, everybody was willing. That's the special bond we share as a class. But this bond was also forged with our teachers. They were the ones who were always willing to help us out whenever and in whatever way we needed it. This bond is, of course, there in our families. They were the ones who were there to catch us when we fell down and gave us words of encouragement. These are the unbreakable bonds that we share with the people we love. After hearing our 2 salutatorians, Ariel and Jennifer, reminisce about all the quality time they have spent together, we need to think about our time. You know, time is one thing that we never seem to have enough of. We're always doing something. Talking on the phone, texting, watching TV, going on the internet, or playing video games all night long. We are always doing something. But here we are in this time to celebrate the hope that we will one day make our mark on this world. And even though our time together has come to an end, we still have our futures to think about, and that is something we should not forget. Many people believe that everything happens because of destiny or fate, but I believe that even with such forces, you can change your fate if you just work hard. On this very special day, graduates, we have to make a promise to ourselves that we will do monumental things in the future. We will help out and we will be of service to others. And in the end, everyone will feel content. Friedrich Schiller, a German poet, philosopher, historian, and playwright, wrote, "Lose not yourself in far-off time. Seize the moment that is thine." This is our moment, class of 2012. Don't forget it, don't lose it, and just live it. Mrs. Bartsker and Mr. Jenkins will now present the scholarships.